So the iPad mini has been out for a little over a week now, and it's been great. I made a couple of videos for you early adopters and those of you that are considering to buy one, in an order that seems logical to the way I go about a purchase like that myself. First, I want to have some first impressions, check. Then I want to know what apps I should install, check. And after I'm done playing around with those, I start to think about how can I make this iPad even more useful to me, and that usually involves some good accessories. So let me show you some of my favorites and how they help me make this little guy even better. Let's ramble.
Hold up, place go wild when I pull up. They all on me like it wants.
Hey, what's up guys? It's great to see you all again. And if you're new here, I'm Patrick and this is where I ramble about tech and other stuff. So you got your new iPad mini and now you're looking to get some kit for it to beef it up a little. Or maybe you got your mini pre-ordered and you want to get a head start on those accessories. You know, get the baby room ready for the little guy to arrive. Well, here's a couple of accessories that I think are just perfect for the mini. By the way, if you guys like this type of video, please go ahead and give it a like so I know that you do, in which case I will be making this into a recurring series because there's so many awesome accessories out there and there's stuff coming out all the time, so plenty of videos to be made. And of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you like to be kept up to date on that or any other iPad related stuff. I upload at least twice a week, so plenty of fresh content coming your way. All right, end of plug. So here's a couple of things that are kind of no-brainers to me. So let's get those out of the way first. The iPad mini is by no means a budget tablet. In fact, at $499 for the Wi-Fi 64 gigs only base model, I would even dare to say that this thing is quite pricey. So I don't want to get it all banged up or get scratches on it. So the first thing I ordered before the iPad even arrived is a cover. In this case, the Apple Smart Folio case. For my iPads, I always like to get the Apple cases because they just fit perfectly, and I love the fact that it attaches magnetically. It's super easy to pop in and out of the iPad, it's light, it has a microfiber lining, and you can use it as a stand. You can't really go wrong with this. I do prefer the electric orange one and I ordered that one as well, but I didn't want to leave this one unprotected in the meantime, so I got the white one because it was available straight away and because I don't have great experiences with the black on the iPad Pro. I swear that thing smudges just by looking at it. And this white one stays surprisingly clean. I also pre-ordered a paper-like screen protector, not just to protect the screen, but because I prefer the way it feels when I use my Apple Pencil. Which, by the way, is the next no-brainer item on my list. The iPad mini is the perfect size for taking quick handwritten notes, especially now that iPadOS 15 made it so much better with features like swipe in notes and so on. There's also some great third-party apps available to use the Apple Pencil with, and if you haven't seen my latest best apps video for the iPad mini, I'll link to that at the end of this one. The iPad mini is now compatible with the 2nd gen Apple Pencil, which is a huge improvement, mainly because it attaches magnetically to the side of the iPad, and it also charges and pairs that way. And that means I can use the same Apple Pencil between my iPad Pro and my iPad mini, because all it takes to switch between devices is to take it off one iPad, snap it onto the other one, and that's it. You're paired, you're good to go. Now, to make writing and drawing more comfortable, there's a couple of helpful tools by a company called Pen Tips. Their products are designed for artists, but they are also very useful if you like to take a lot of handwritten notes. They make these little rubber grips that slide over the Apple Pencil and that make it way more comfortable to hold, especially for those longer penning sessions. They also make the actual pen tips, these little nibs you just put over the Apple Pencil's actual tip, like this. And I like to use these in addition to my screen protector to give it even more friction, which is much nicer than writing on the glass surface. It's just too slippery and it makes my already poor handwriting look even worse. You can even put together a custom box with your favorite colors on their website. They also make this. I know it's got a bit of a Michael Jackson vibe going, but this is surprisingly useful. It helps your hands slide over the screen better, and it also prevents the screen from getting all sweaty and oily from your hands. Very useful stuff that doesn't break the bank. Now, because I'm not a big fan of laying the iPad flat on the table, I love the Compass Pro by 12 South. It's a fantastic portable little stand that you can set up in a bunch of different ways. Some of you guys saw it in my iPad videos and asked me about it, so here it is. You can set it almost upright by using the long leg and extending it even further, which is great for viewing content or making video calls. Or if you want to do some handwriting, you can use the small tab on the back, pull it out and set it down like this. It's basically an easel for your iPad. You can tell that it's built for larger iPads, but you can definitely use this with your mini because it's super adjustable. It's light enough to toss in any bag, but not so light that it moves around on your desk or table. Speaking of bags, I have a bit of a thing for tech bags and camera bags. So whenever I buy a piece of tech that I know I'm gonna use a lot and that I'm sure I'll be taking outside, I'm always looking for the perfect bag. Now, when I'm traveling with my MacBook Pro, I like to use my Peak Design Everyday Backpack. I did a video on it not too long ago actually, but that would of course be overkill for an iPad of this size. The way I intend to use it is in coffee shops or on quick day trips where I don't want to bring a backpack. And the same company, Peak Design, makes these little sling bags as well. They come in two sizes, the 10-liter bag that fits an iPad Pro and this smaller 6-liter one that looks like it was designed for the iPad mini. I think there's also a 3-liter one, but that's actually more like a fanny pack and we don't want to get into that territory. So like I said, this one fits the iPad mini just perfectly. And like all Peak Design bags, it is very customizable. It comes with these little dividers, so you can really organize your tech, put something here, put something on top, divide it in 3 parts, 4 parts, whatever you like. And if you want to take them all out like this, you just have one big compartment where you could store a jacket or something. There's a zippered compartment for your little bits and bobs like dongles and stuff. And then there's a big zipper on the front where you can store documents or keys or something. If I don't need to bring too much stuff, I actually prefer these sling bags over backpacks because they're a little easier on the back. Now on the days you're not taking the iPad out of the house, you can also create some pretty sweet desk setups with it. This Hoverbar Duo, also by 12 South, is a really versatile stand. You can use it in all kinds of different ways. I usually use it on my desk to put the iPad at eye level when I'm working on it. And this design is really well done. It even has a magnetic slot for your Apple Pencil because it will grip the iPad on the long sides, so you won't be able to put your iPad on top. And this way you won't lose it, it will stay right there. Of course, you could have the stand grip it on the short sides and then flip it over like this, but I wouldn't feel too comfortable doing that because there is an amount of pressure there and I don't want to run the risk of bending anything. It can be a bit wobbly depending on the angle, but it also comes with an actual desk clamp, so you can replace the base with a desk clamp for a more permanent setup. Of course, you can also use something simpler like this Satechi iPad stand for your desk. And the added advantage of this is of course that you can fold it back up, toss it in your bag and take it with you. And since we're using a Satechi stand, we might as well also have a look at the Satechi keyboard and the Satechi mouse. It's a nice combination, looks great, works great. And what's cool about this is that it has these 3 buttons, so you can hook it up to 3 different devices, and all you need to do to switch between those devices is press one of these buttons and it will automatically connect to that device. Very useful if you want to use a computer and an iPad or maybe 2 iPads. You can just switch between them, no problem. Not much else to say about these. I mean, it's a keyboard and a mouse, but they're just really solid products. Now, these have all been Bluetooth devices, but of course the iPad mini now has USB-C as well, which means you can hook it up to pretty much anything. And that's where something like this comes in really handy. This is the Lention or Lentian, not sure how it's pronounced, USB-C hub, and it's pretty darn useful because you can plug this into your iPad mini's USB-C port and then use the ports on the hub for all kinds of other accessories. It has 2 USB-A ports, SD and micro SD card reader, an HDMI port so you can hook it up to pretty much any monitor, and a 3.5mm audio jack, which a lot of you will appreciate because that means you will be able to hook up your trusty old headphones. It does have a USB-C port as well, but as far as I can tell, that is only for pass-through charging and not for transferring data. So if you want to use an external SSD, you're still going to have to unplug this thing and plug it straight into the iPad mini. But hey, to be honest, you're gonna need pass-through charging if you use something like this because the battery on the mini does drain pretty fast, and if you're using all kinds of attachments, it's best to be hooked up to a wall outlet. Again, not built for the iPad mini specifically, but because it's height adjustable, it's easy to fit it on there. And then, if you do need to transfer data, other than SD or micro SD cards, this little thing is the holy grail. This is the Anyoyo. I don't know who comes up with these names, but it's a 4-in-1 card reader and it comes in a fancy hard shell, which is also very nice. It has 2 USB-C ports, one for power and one for transferring. It has SD and micro SD, but it also has CFast and CF Express card slots. Now, you don't often see those in one device, and you're either thinking one of 2 things. 1, what the heck is a CF Express card? If that's you, don't worry, you don't need this. 2, holy shit, I need me one of those. If that's you, there's a link in the description. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give it one of these. It really does help the channel. Subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.